today, this is what we're doing. Hello, everyone. I'm going to take these off soon so I can actually see because I need glasses to see. But today we are making Sakura bars. So this is a lemon bar recipe that I use for everything. And today we're going to make Sakura bars with it. So, okay, I'm done with the bit. Done pretending to be Tatsu. Okay, so here's what this takes. So I'm going to read off the ingredients and those things first, just in case anyone doesn't want to watch the entire video to know what the recipe is. But we are going to have, for the crust, a half cup of unsalted butter melted, a fourth a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a fourth a teaspoon of salt, and a cup and 1 tablespoon of flour is what makes the crust. And then for the filling, we're going to have a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, 3 large eggs, and a half cup of Sakura tea for flavoring. And that last thing is the thing that you can vary to make whatever variety of bars you want. So there's that. And then instructions. So oven's going to 325, which I should have done before even going live, but I'm stupid. 325. Okay. And then we're going to use a glass pan. I think mine's a 9x11, lined with parchment paper. And then we mix all the crust ingredients together with the flour last. And then that gets pressed and put into the pan, baked for 20 minutes. And while it bakes, we're going to make the filling, where we combine the sugar and the flour and kind of mix it together. And then we whisk in the eggs and then the juice and then mix all that up. And then once the crust comes out, we pour it on top of that and it goes back in the oven for 22 to 26 minutes. And then you let it cool in the fridge or the freezer, whatever you like, and then you cut it and you serve it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. So let's get started by getting all the ingredients together, as well as getting the pan, and parchment paper. And as per usual with my various recipes of things, we're going to use one mixing bowl. One mixing bowl and 1 spoon. So let's see, I think this, no. So a cup, or sorry, yeah, a cup, half cup of butter is just 1 stick. So 1 stick, and we'll get our pan because we're going to melt it. And yeah, okay. So let me rotate you off. Here we go. Pingatanes. I sent her a DM. She was offline though, so I don't know what was up. If she's busy or what. But I did ping her. So hopefully she sees. And also I assume I didn't send her the link to the stream because I assume that she knows that you know the Go Live channel is a thing. So but yeah, so same thing as before. We're going to use my exciting butter cutting technique. Which I shall now demonstrate. Okay, so stick of butter. And then, so it melts evenly. You cut it in half. And then in half. And in half. Repeat for all the things that need to be cut in half until you get 8. Or, I mean, you could just cut into 8ths if you're, good at estimating cuts. But I think it's easy to just do that. So that's good. And then this all goes in here. Ta-da. Onto the stove, throw it on some heat. let it melt. And while it melts, we are going to go ahead and combine our salt and sugar, and vanilla extract. So we'll rotate you so you can face the other way. I don't want to put you. Okay, here. I don't really want to put you on the cutting board, so there. All right, bowl. And then we need the mixy things. So you want a 1/2 cup measurer and a 1/4 cup measurer and a tablespoon measurer. So, there we go. And I'm actually making a half recipe, so normally it's twice as much as I'm saying, but we really don't need to make the full recipe. It makes way too many bars. I mean, unless you're trying to go for that, I guess. But, so first things first is the 1/4 cup of sugar. Again, I have sugar cane, so it's the darker kind, and I also have it mixed in with just regular cane sugar. So only 1/4 of a cup for the crust. You don't need too much sugar for that. The crust is mostly flour, and then the part that goes on top is mostly sugar. So okay, so that's the sugar, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Remember, the flour is going to go last. Just a teaspoon. And I like vanilla, so maybe pour a little bit more than is necessary and then just dump it out while you're still pouring. Get a little bit extra flavor. If you're not into vanilla, then don't do that, I guess. But if you're not into vanilla, what are you doing with your life? You should be. It's so good. All right, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Here we go. And looking over yonder, the butter is melting. It has been for a little while. I have it on my medium heat, by the way. So just enough that, there's still some butter, but it hasn't started browning or anything like that. But before you get ready to pour the butter in, get your flour ready. So remember, we need a cup and a tablespoon of it. So what I like to do for this is we measure out the flour, of course, using the spoon technique I showed you all last time, which if you don't remember, you get your thing, you get your spoon, and then you let it kind of tumble out onto it so that it doesn't pack down. That way you get a better amount and you don't overuse your flour, because you don't want too much flour, you don't want it to be dry. But yeah, so get yourself a cup of flour. Remember that this takes a cup and a tablespoon. So get your tablespoon all good to go, and then just dump it right on top so it's all there, all ready to go to get mixed in when you're ready for it. And believe me, we're ready for it. So got the butter. In goes the butter into the mixture. Okay. And then mix all that in with the flour. So what I'm doing, trying to make it so you can see, is I'm just knocking the cup with the flour in it every time I stir. So it goes in evenly, basically. You don't get too much at once. Avoid clumping a bit. And this dough is going to come together pretty fast, by the way. Try to make it viewable to some extent. Like it's already clumping together. If you brown the butter, and you use regular sugar, it will come together very smoothly. But as long as you don't brown the butter, in my experience, you end up with the kind of shortbread that you want. Like it's clumpy, I guess. It sticks to itself, but it's still a little flaky. Like you can kind of see it. Like it's coming together similar to the other dough from like the cookies, right? But you can break it apart really easily. You can still see like that it kind of holds shape and will fall apart nicely with the flakiness. But just like the dough recipe for those cookies that we made the other week, you can use the dough to clear everything off and like clean the thing as you go. But once that's good and done, which it is roughly now, it's sticking to itself, it's not really leaving too much of itself behind, then we are ready to go ahead and press it in. So this part, I don't know how I'm going to show you very well, because this is going to make it a little bit difficult. But basically, grab your dough, okay, and then just like break it up and let it fall down into your pan. There's a lot of butter on my fingers, so I don't really want to touch my phone right now, but I will for you. Okay, so like you can see, it's very flaky. It comes apart super easy. Right, it's the short part of the shortbread, and you're just gonna press that into all the corners. Okay. So sorry for the crinkly noise of the paper. The paper's a little big. I'll probably trim it or something so you can see. But just use your hands. I like to rotate as I go while I squish things out. And the oven is ready. Look at this good timing we're having. Okay. So, let me get a scissors. I'm gonna trim back this parchment paper. I'm actually reusing the parchment paper from the cookies we made because I'm lazy and reuse things. But let me trim this back so you can see it a little bit better. Where's my scissors? Hey, where's my scissors? 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 I could have sworn I had it around here. Alright, you know what? Whatever. We don't need the scissors. You can just tear it. You want to have enough so you can grab it, so you can lift things out later on, but you don't need a ton for that. There we go. Alright, so now you can kind of see this a little bit better, right? So it's just pressed down and rotate it a little bit, get it over into the edges, right? And there you go. So that's about ready. One thing to do besides getting the dough off of you is use a fork. If you use a fork to poke holes in it now, it will help let the air escape while it cooks and such, which will help later. So fork and just poke, 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 poke. So there you go. All right, so that's the base, right? And this goes into the oven for 22 minutes. And I just have it on like the second to bottom rack. Okay. And then while that happens, we're gonna make the filling, the topping, the good bit. So clear out your bowl if you have any like extra scrapey bits or those things. Either use a new bowl or just get a paper towel. I don't like to make dishes, so I'm just going to use a paper towel to remove the extra little bits of crumb from the dough, because we're going to start with dry ingredients first. Okay. Clean enough for our purposes. Clean off our spoon. And then here comes the sugar. So you need 1 cup of sugar. 1 whole cup of sugar. So I'm going to use my half cup thing here. So there's 1/2 and 2. Okay. That, and then 3 tablespoons of flour. So spoon trick again. It's basically just like one little spoon. Don't worry about like clumpage or those things while you combine these, because we're going to do something with it in a second. All right. There we go. So now sugar and flour, and then whisk it around. If you have a whisk, feel free to use it. But what I like to do, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this with one hand without screwing it up. So do this. Like you're shaking for gold or something. Like just whisk it around so that the flour and the sugar mix together. Nice and smooth. Because you don't want clumps of flour, basically. Which is why you could whisk it if you want to. I don't really see the need. I think you can get it pretty good, pretty well mixed like this. But it's up to you. And at the end, you have, you know, little nuggets of sugar and what have you. All right? Put it up. Okay. So that's whisked nicely. Now there's only 2 more ingredients that go into this, which is pretty nice. One is the eggs. So 3 eggs. 3 eggs, and then our half cup of whatever flavoring we're using. So I have used chocolate, like melted chocolate and milk. I've used Onko, red bean paste mixed with water to make zanzai, and used that, which is particularly good. I've used amaretto. I've used brandy and chocolate. You can make like everything with it. I've done everything except lemon bars, which is what the actual ingredient, or what the actual thing is. Funny enough. What is this? Oh, sorry. I was confused by the notification icon. Okay. But what we are doing, let's see, as I noted earlier, is this. So this is tea. This is Sakura Green Tea from Takayanaki Seicha. Okay. And this is the empty one. This is the one I drank last weekend. There's one more of these in my box, and I've decided to sacrifice it for today. So here's the last bag. I'm going to have myself a lovely cup of tea. And then we are going to enjoy ourselves. So here's my teacup. So for the water, all right, for this lovely thing, you want it to be at, I like, this is my drinking temperature, like 176. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in now for me so I can drink it without burning my mouth. But you can see it gets really green really quick, which is lovely. But according to the website, it's best served at 194. So to have, you know, the best of flavors, I want to bring that up to 194. And then we're going to make tea in our half cup measuring cup. And this normally steeps for about a minute for like the best flavor for that. We're going to steep it for 2. And that's to intensify the flavor, because when it gets put in with the egg and with the sugar and all those things, it's going to de-intensify the flavor. And we want to taste the Sakura, right? So half cup. And then so put our tea bag. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to measure out the hot water in my other measuring cup. So we'll measure out the hot water in the half cup so that we have all 1/2 cup. And then I'm going to transfer it to a different container so that it has enough room for the tea bag. Because otherwise we wouldn't have enough room for the tea bag. All right, so here we go. In the tea bag goes. And on the clock, 2 minutes. So we now have 2 minutes to wait for this. The other thing, of course, is that it's boiling hot water. I mean, it's not boiling technically, but it's really hot and it's really close to boiling. And we don't want to cook the egg, right? So we're gonna have to cool it down as well. But first we're gonna drink some of it. It's good. It's good. So to cool this shit down, ice, right? I'm all kinds of prepared today. Look at this. So here's a bowl. And then I'm going to put this ice in that bowl. Apologies for the noise. And I'm hoping that like the cooling of the tea won't be an issue. Hopefully. I don't think it will be. But I'm not going to put the tea directly into this. I'm going to cool down the thing it's in. So flip. Flip. So here's our tea. And then here's our ice water. And then we're just going to like nestle this in so that it cools down. So that way, when it goes in with the egg, it doesn't cook it too much. And we have 16 seconds on the clock, so I didn't quite get it down to the 2-minute oversteep time. But we still have 14 minutes here. And I don't really want to combine the egg and the tea until that's like maybe a minute or so. So we have some time to kill. Just a little bit of time to kill. So I don't know. I don't know what we should do. We could talk about Sakura stuff, or I could tell you fun facts. How about some fun facts? This is okayu. That's not the fun fact, but here, let's get some fun facts going. All right. Here's the extra goodies. Okay. Ugh. So since we're making Sakura Shortbread, let's learn about Sakura festivals, shall we? Or something with our singular hand. Gosh, I don't know. This is about rice. This is about daifuku. Where is it? I'm looking for the thing about the tea itself. Oh, here we go. So this is the tea we're using. We worked with famous tea producer Takayanagi Seicha to bring you this Sakuraco exclusive Sakura Green Tea. Giving off a cherry blossom scent, the blend goes well with all kinds of sweets. To bring out the full flavor of the tea, brew the tea in water boiled to 100 degrees Celsius. However, you prefer a milder flavor, try and drain with water heated to roughly 70 or 80 degrees. So remember, we did 180 something. So that's that. These are really good. I've already eaten both of those that came. I haven't had this yet, the pickled Sakura. But oh, here we go. Let's learn about Gifu while we wait for our oven. Located in the middle of Japan's main island of Honshu, landlocked Gifu Prefecture is one of Japan's most mountainous areas. Historically, most of the villages nestled in the mountains were effectively cut off from the rest of Japan due to the amount of snowfall. This did not prevent local craftspeople from rising to nationwide fame, however. Carpenters from Gifu's Hida region used to be sent to the former capitals of Nara and Kyoto in lieu of taxes. The most famous temples, shrines, and palaces of Kyoto relied on the skills of this now 1,300-year-long lineage. Carpentry skills also reflected in Gifu's world-famous Gashozukuri farmhouses, named after the resemblance of hands joined in prayer. Woodwork is not the only craft Gifu excels at, however, with the city of Mino famous for its pottery and Japanese washi paper production. Look at that. Hot springs and festivals. Where there are mountains in Japan, there are hot springs, and Gifu's no different. Gera Onsen, nestled deep within the valley, is particularly famous and rated as one of Japan's top 3 hot springs. Another top 3 rank belongs in the Takayama Festival, held twice a year. As one of the city's famous for woodwork, beautiful floats with intricate mechanisms are paraded through the narrow streets, drawing large crowds in spring and autumn. It looks like a nice place, doesn't it? Like, it looks very picturesque. Wow. Milk manju. Oh, here we go. The Sakura side plate. That's over there. It's behind the tea. Haven't had this thing yet. Haven't had these yet. Had one of these today. That was pretty good. Here we go. More things to learn about. And we have 10 minutes on the oven. So, oh shoot. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to remove the tea bag. Yoink. There's the Sakura plate, by the way. So there we go. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty Sakura-y. Honestly, it could probably intensify itself a little bit more. Like, it's a pretty light flavor overall. But actually I don't think it's actually the worst idea to just kind of let this thing keep steeping. So far, I have yet to see this tea like get really bitter. And I've reused the tea bags a lot, so. Okay, where's the thing? Okay. Nighttime blossoms in Yozakura. The arrival of cherry blossoms in spring is an occasion for all of Japan to get outside and celebrate. Families and friends gather below the sakura trees to share food and drinks in a practice called hanami. Hanami is mostly a day activity, but as the picnics wind down, another celebration starts, Yozakura. Yozakura translates the self-explanatory night sakura. Most people would take the opportunity to stroll and take in the blossoms, rather than sitting down as during the day. Areas with many trees often feature stalls for food and drink, establishing a festive feeling. So pretty looking. And here we go. Sakura festivals. As sakura trees tend to be planted along pathways and rivers, it is easy to find areas for a nighttime walk in almost any city in Japan. Lanterns are hung specifically for Yozakura, and trees are often additionally illuminated by spotlights, creating a truly unique atmosphere. Yozakura is a much more modern phenomenon compared to hanami, as large-scale illuminations just weren't that feasible before electric lighting. That said, there are still plenty of traditional hanami elements reigning. Lanterns are often made of paper and feature traditional color illustrations. Some shrines and temples put on traditional performances incorporating the trees, and a lot of people will still choose sake over beer for their nighttime walk. Culinary Specialties. The food on offer for hanami and Yozakura will change drastically depending on the setting. While there are specific hanami dishes and sweets, realistically anything goes. The food stalls present at Yozakura events usually offer the same sweet and savory staples as other Japanese festivals. Both sweet and savory pancakes, noodles, meat skewers, or the ever-present chocolate banana. Cherry blossoms can truly be celebrated in almost any way, sitting or strolling at day or night, or with sushi or steak. The essence of it, however, can be represented in a specific seasonal treat. The hanami dango. A skewer of 3 glutinous rice balls in pink, white, and green. Color symbolizes cherry blossoms, snow, and green grass. Spring is here, winter is over. There. It's nice. Nice things. All right, how we doing? 7 minutes on the oven. So, soon. And actually, I think this is actually cool enough that we could combine it now. Let me save some of these fun facts, I guess, for when we do some other stuff. So, flip. And then, here you go. Okay. Put this ice away. Okay. Don't mind me. Just grabbing the Sakura. Okay. So, egg first, then juice. So, 1 egg. Two egg. And 3 egg. Get out of here. Get out of here, you. Perfect. All right, so in goes the eggs. Keep your hands relatively clean, I suppose. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of a stir, not too much. Just enough to get things going. Okay, so just enough so it kind of all starts to mush together. And then in goes the flavoring. And it will get real liquidy real fast when you mix this. So this is where a whisk would work well. If you want to use a whisk, you can. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm lazy in that I just don't want to wash a whisk. But a spoon works fine, honestly. If you get a lot of air mixed into it, you will get air bubbles probably. But that's also one of the reasons we use this fork over there to poke holes into the shortbread, because we're trying to let the air escape from it so that it doesn't escape up into our mixture and add lots of air bubbles. So 4 minutes on the clock. And typically what I do when I'm, not streaming this, is I just keep stirring until it's done. And like depending on what I'm doing, like if it involves something hot or something cold or what, then I'll change the time. Like we cooled down the tea because I didn't want the hot water to start cooking the eggs. Same reason why I tend to, like when I do the alcoholic ones, like using liqueurs, I add them a little bit closer to the end time, because I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard things about like alcohol theoretically kind of like cooking an egg, as it were, in some way. I haven't actually really seen it, so I don't know, but I'd rather not take the chance of like making it taste like an omelet instead of whatever we just mixed in. So I'm a little worried that the egg is gonna kind of overpower the tea taste, because it is a very floral and fruity taste. But we let it steep for a good while, so it should be pretty intense. And if it doesn't work, then I mean we'll just kind of end up with like tasty shortbread bars with a mild like egg top, I guess. But it will be fine. So basically in 3 minutes, when that thing is done, we're gonna take it out and then we're gonna stab it with a fork some more. And then we pour this right on top of it, and then it goes right back into the oven for another like 22 minutes. I sometimes do 25. There's a lot of wait time in this recipe because it involves baking 2 different things, basically. But they are good, and they're relatively not hard to make. I mean, I feel like if I can make it basically one-handed talking to you guys, then you can make it with both hands. Or something. And like, it's originally a lemon bar recipe. Sorry that I'm moving, I'm rotating. But like, this is the full recipe. I do half of this because you really don't need a lot. But you can see here, let cool 2 hours and refrigerate. I'm probably gonna accelerate that and just throw it directly into the fridge or into the freezer, one or the other. Oh, 1 minute left on the oven. So I honestly think that we've probably mixed this enough. I don't know if there's such a thing as over mixing when it comes to this. I'm not a chef. I like baking and cooking things, but I wouldn't dare to call myself a chef. I have zero formal training. I have the internet and the ability to rotate a spoon in a circle repeatedly, which not everyone has. Just make sure we're not clumping. Make sure that, you know, nothing got stuck. I think that's just a bubble. Or is that a piece of ice? I think that's a piece of ice. Oh no, it's egg. All right. Quiet. So there we go. You can hear it maybe if I shut up. So there's that. Fork. And just give it some pokes. Let it get the air out. So I mean, you can kind of see it like right around the edge. You can like see little bubbleage going on. So it's got air to let out. Also, it smells pretty good. The vanilla really comes through in the crust from the smell. So, but you want to poke it. You don't want to poke it all the way through because you don't want to like. You're not trying to make holes through the entire thing, but you want enough holes that the hot air can get out while we do this, and so that when we pour the liquid in, it will kind of bond together with all this. And also, the more you stab it, the more you get extra little bits on the fork like this, and then you can eat that and be like, it's good, or it's not. Today's verdict is, it's good. Excellent. All right. So mix that. I'm actually going to give that a whisk, I think. So again, 325. We probably lost a degree or two when I opened that up. Whisk. Get the spoon out, and now we're just gonna give it a good whiskage, because I want this one to turn out well. I really do, because I only had 2 packets of that Sakura tea, so sacrificing a little bit of it and hoping for the best. Okay. So no, that's good. Apologies for you having to stare at my hand for a second. I need 2 hands for this. So. All right. Oven's ready. And in it goes. Just pour it all right on top. There's a piece of eggshell got in here, but that's okay. So I caught it. All right, and then don't spill it all over your kitchen floor. I haven't actually done that, mind you. I'm just saying don't do that. And then in it goes. 22. Or I'm gonna do 24. That's what I'm feeling today. 24 minutes. And now we wait. That's really all we have to do. So I'll read you some more fun facts in a second after I do the dishes. Reminder, this is what we just used. If you want it, you can still buy it online. I was looking online actually on like Japan Haul, I think was the name of the website. And they had, sorry, they had it. It was like $5 for 5 bags of tea. So pretty expensive, like $1 per bag, but also it's only made once a year, as far as I understand, because it's made with the sakura petals. So not something you can always get. Not something that's always in season. So yeah, hopefully they turn out well. Again, if you are making these for yourself, or if you're following along, you probably want to make them before like a half a day in advance of whatever you want them for, because they work well for it's better if you refrigerate them and everything like that, and let them actually set and that kind of thing. But for my purposes, because I'm speeding through it, because I have a friend coming over theoretically in like a half hour, maybe an hour, depending on how lost he is on his way up here. I'm gonna, do what I can. But yeah, does anyone have any questions about like the recipe or anything? I don't really know if there's anything I can explain about it, but like I've done a lot of different variations of it. Like the lemon and lime bars worked pretty well, which I did. I think it was at least 3 lemons and 3 limes, I believe, got me to a half cup. Or was it a full cup? I might have made a full cup that one time, because that was the first time I did it. But yeah, I don't recommend it. It tastes really good. If you use fresh lemons and fresh limes, like the flavor is really, really good. It also is murder on your wrists, because squeezing that much lime, like lemon and lime, or like using a fork to get at the rind and everything like that, it hurts. it's a lot of work. If you have a juicer, you'd probably have an easier time with it, and maybe do it more often than I would. But cherry juice is another really good one to do. You can just buy that, and that works pretty well. Cherry juice and chocolate is also a good mix. You don't have to melt the chocolate. What I did when I did, I think it was when I did the brandy mixture, which is the exact same recipe we just did, but instead of the green tea, a half cup of green tea, you use a half cup of brandy. And you just take delicious chocolate. Give me a second, I'll show you. Grab yourself some tasty dark chocolate. And when you take the shortbread out from the oven, you punch all your little holes in it, and all that hot air that's coming out, just dump chocolate on it. Like, just tilt the bag up and then spread it out so you have like a decent layer, and then you're good. You do that, and then you pour the mixture on top of it. So then you have chocolate kind of mixed in all throughout it. And when you refrigerate it, you end up with harder pieces of chocolate, kind of like nuggeted inside in the middle, and it's all really good and really tasty. So these are the food experiments that I enjoy doing. So, and this is a food experiment. I haven't done this before with the Sakura. So if it turns out terrible, you saw it here not to do. Sorry, thirsty. Oh, that's perfect cooking, perfect drinking temperature now. And also, that is actually not the worst combination. Coke should get on that. Make a Sakura Coke. Pretty good. All right, you guys want more fun facts about Sakura? How about some nightlife and fast food in feudal Japan? Japan's nightlife has its roots in the Edo period, which lasted from 1603 to 1868. With peace established and the country closed off to the rest of the world, Japanese culture and art was able to develop in its own unique way. Without wars to be fought, a new merchant class gradually gained financial power, and people living in larger cities would increasingly have money to spend on food, travel, entertainment, and art. The city of Edo, modern-day Tokyo, was the city of this urban revolution. Was the center. With a population of 1 million people in the 18th century, it was one of the largest cities in the world at the time. Neat. Food revolution. This change in lifestyle gave birth to a lot of the staple Japanese foods famous today. It became more popular to eat bite-sized food like sushi and tempura, or bowls of noodles sold at food stalls called yatai. In addition to providing a quick snack, this way of eating also fostered a culture of socializing over food, something that endures today. While street stalls are a rare sight in modern Japan, tiny standing bars or restaurants offering fast food or drinks can still be found everywhere in the country. For those looking for a more social meal, there are izakaya, a cross between a bar and a restaurant. A recipe book used during the Edo period. Yeah, this is what you had for instructions before you had streamers showing you how they cook things. Apply meat to grill. I can understand that one. Box food and the environment. Edo's food revolution also gave birth to another Japanese staple, bento lunchboxes. Adding a changeable setting to food culture allowed for mixing with entertainment, such as enjoying sumo wrestling or even the custom of hanami food and drink under cherry blossoms. Entertainment also evolved hand in hand with Edo's food culture. Kabuki, a highly stylized form of theater, and bunraku, a form of puppet theater, both rose to fame as they offered light-hearted and affordable entertainment for commoners. When the last performances of the day ended at sunset, a hungry audience was sure to spill out into the street, with vendors and stalls of all kinds, ready and waiting. That's like Boston. Let's taste it looking. If it will focus. I don't know about this middle one though. I'm not a big fan of roe, honestly. Like you bite into them and they explode in a salty mess in your mouth. Which like is an interesting thing to experience. Not my favorite though, in all honesty. We have more light reading. I don't know. Let me think about my life real quick here. Suppose I'll keep cleaning up. I haven't thrown away those tea bags yet because they smell really good. Okay, we're good. Like they just smell great. 16 more minutes. Not terrible. Not bad. Not great. Let's see. Is there anything else I should do? Our switch is off. I don't know. There you go. You guys want a cocktail recipe? I don't have any figs. Looks very fancy though, doesn't it? What else? What else could we do? What about... oh, there's the .hack books I was mentioning the other day. Sorry, that's just kind of in the way. Excuse me, Mika. So, .hack AI Buster 1 and 2, and .hack Another Birth volumes 1 through 4. And then Legend of the Twilight, and then the Quadruple X, which is good. Well, these are all light novels. Well, this one's not. And this one's not. I'm pretty sure these are light novels anyway, if I remember right. Oh no, this one's actually a manga. I think this is a kind of like what happens in the games, but different. It has two faces. Oh, there we go. Here's Elk and Mia. Elk's pretty cute like that. Yike. But yeah, Another Birth is the one I was actually thinking of. So I think this one covers some of... I think this might be from Black Rose's perspective, actually. Yep, this is Black Rose's perspective for the .hack games, which is pretty cool. So like, we could read 1 and 2, but not 3 or 4 yet, because we haven't finished the third game and haven't started the fourth. And then AI Buster is System Administrator. kind of tracking down a prototype Aura, that one. And that's this one on the right is the system administrator. I think Pyros might actually make a, like real life Pyros might make a appearance in that one, actually. Now that I think about it. Here you go. Games. We have the Drakengard series, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, Little Big Planet, Heavy Rain, Project Diva, The Wrath of the White Witch, Kino Kuni, Eternal Sonata, Journey, which I still haven't played but want to, Drakengard 3. Oh god, everything's falling. No, Soul Gem, please. Sorry. Some Dance Dance and Dirge of Cerberus. Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and 13-3. Phantom Pain. Xenosaga. Always a good time. The Bioshock series is floating around here. Wet is really hard. I picked this up because there was like a big recommendation online. Like someone gave this thing a glowing review. It was like, this is so good, so underrated, so fun. And I don't think I've gotten past like the second or third level because it's just hard as shit. Also, Death Smiles. Death smiles at us all. Lollies smile back. That's what's on this thing. It's like a Toho game. You fly around as a magical girl and you dodge bullets in bullet hell and shoot it. It's weird because it's on a console. But yeah. All right. How much time do we have left? How much time did I just waste? 4 minutes. Oh, there's 12 minutes I wasted 4. This is the part of the stream where being even mildly entertaining would help me. But instead, you just get me reading things to you. And showing the cute little thing. All right. I don't know. I want to do something interesting for you all. I guess I could show you the inside of these other like soccer related treats. I've had some of them already, but I haven't had all of them. So here we go. And where's that book gone? So this booklet is actually like a handy guide to all these different little treats that we have. So these are Sakura Wafers. So they're flavored. They've got Sakura cream or cherry blossom cream in the middle of 2 little wafers. So I haven't tried these yet. Plan to. And then we have a bunch of Daifuku, which are individually wrapped. So I've already opened them because I can just kind of snack on it when I want something special. Then we have more wafers. I think they're the same thing anyway. I believe. Yeah. I do have this jelly. It's in my fridge because I felt weird about just leaving jelly unrefrigerated. Here's the pickled one. So there you go. A little pickled Sakura. See, that's what it says, Sakura. Nice ukiyo art. More wafers. This is that's the chili thing. Where is it? This chili arare. So hot chili oil from Okinawa, spring onions, and it's like in a little puff ball. They're pretty decent. This is Kantan, which is, let's see, Oh, there we go. Sakura Kantan. So they look like that. They're like little jelly nuggets, basically. They're really good, actually. This is that that ume thingy. Who's this on the same page as this was? It's another little spicy treat. Yeah, ume. And then we have these weird little bowls. Or I shouldn't call them weird. They're not weird. It's a bowl. Also, the thing that this says pickled in is a kuzumochi, by the way. Where's that? It's like a rice cracker boat. I guess it was further back. I thought it was the other way. There you go. Senbei boat. So it's a rice cracker that you can put other things into. And here's the little pack of the ume arare. So it's, you know, similar but different. And then there's this daifuku, I believe. Hold on, what is this thing? Miracle? Oh, this is milk manju, I think. Yeah, it's a milk manju. So I think we had the manju in the other section. Yeah. Oh, I guess these are different things. Sakura senbei. It says it's a light and crispy snack, but I don't really know how it differs from all the other stuff. So there you go. There's the milk manju. So yeah, those are the things that I haven't eaten yet. But I've had some of the other stuff. You can probably tell because there's things in this book that aren't in here, like the apple cookie or the Nagano apple jam bun, which I've already had and were quite delicious and good. So would recommend. So yeah, normally what happens when I make these is I play Final Fantasy 14. I make it, I cook stuff, I let the filling sit if I'm not worried about it accidentally cooking. And then I play Final Fantasy 14 while I wait for them. And then I refrigerate them or let them sit and cool for 2 hours, and I play a video game while I wait. So they're good, like, hands-off food. Like, you're hands-on for probably at least a half hour, right? Like the main cooking part. And then after that, you're good. So, yeah. But these daifuku are really good, though. And, like, it comes with a decent amount of them. It's like, I want to show you. Like, they even kind of made them look like little cherry blossoms or something. Like, poor hair. Squishy. Trying to get at the filling for you. If you like mochi, then it's good stuff. If you do. If you don't, then, well, sorry. Okay. This lovely bowl only had water in it, so I'm just gonna dry it off and then put it back. Because there's no reason for a bowl to go through the wash if it has no need of washing. Also, like, one of the things that I probably appreciate the most, besides that book that tells you all the different things that are in the box with pictures, is that not only do you get that, but I think it's a customs requirement or something like that, but they also send you this, which is like the health and nutrition, and it's backwards, I'm sure, but it's like, it's the nutrition facts, so you get to know all the calories that you're eating, or not eating. In the case of the tea, it's 0 calories. So 0 calorie bars, yeah. There's plenty of calories in the shortbread. But yeah, so like that one little tiny daifuku I just ate is apparently 487 calories. It says amount per serving, and servings per contain 1. But I don't know if it's talking about the full bag or a single one of those, because that is 487 calories for that tiny thing. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten it. I'm gonna get fat. All that ring fit for nothing. I assume it's for the entire bag. Like, that seems kind of crazy. I know it's rice, and it's glutinous rice at that, but it seems kind of insane that would have that much in it. Also, I'm a heathen, and everyone who loves tea hates me for this, but I reuse my tea bags a lot. Like, basically until it doesn't give any flavor to the water anymore. So, that might gross you out. Grossed out one of my ex-girlfriends who loved tea. But she was also the one who actually got me drinking tea in the first place, so it's her fault. So, I just don't like the waste. That's all. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. What can I do? What can I do for 2 minutes? 1 minute. So I don't have anything new. Like, I have random cookbooks, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what I could show you? How about this? The manga cookbook. Huh? Huh? Look, you can learn how to make udon, a beef bowl, from little characters telling you how to do this stuff. There's actually some decent recipes in here. I'm not gonna lie. And look, okonomiyaki with a tiny little kitty face and mayonnaise, as you do. Yakitori, tonkatsu, and teriyaki chicken, and udon. So that's a pretty good book, if I say so myself. All right, we're good. So, the thing to watch for, okay? When you take this out of the oven, pay attention if it jiggles. Oh yeah, that needs more time. If it's still liquid, it needs more time. That needs more time. I'll give it 3 more minutes. So it should be like hard jello. Like, it shouldn't be a liquid. It shouldn't move around. Like, when you grab it, it might like jiggle a little bit. But besides that, nothing. It shouldn't do anything else. I wonder if it's because we kind of like iced the tea and made it cold that it hasn't firmed up yet. I hope it's not anything about like the Sakura itself. That would be intriguing if like tea doesn't work very well. I don't know. This is my best Tatsu impression right now. These are the only sunglasses that I have. I won them at trivia last Thursday. But I figure for Anime Boston, I'll get myself some aviators and then I'll wear a suit plus this. And then it will be a lovely, lovely time. Full of low effort cosplay. All right, anyway. What was I talking about before the oven went off? Oh, right, cookbook. I was going to show you the other one. This one's a little bit more, or a little less for kids specifically. But Effortless Bento is also a good one that I used for a while. And this one's really cool because like it's got big pictures, which is great. All the recipes are pretty simple overall. And also it's organized by color, which is unique. Like I think it's... Oh yeah, it's got recommendations for what to use for storage for your bento. Ready-made goods and colorful ingredients, like how to add more color into your bento or those kind of things. A whole section on herbs, spices, and mushrooms. There's just like a ton of interesting and good information. Rice balls, how to make them. Extra side dishes. And like most of the side dishes they make so you can make them and then like freeze them or do whatever. And they all have information about the shelf life. So you can make the stuff and then like have it ready in the freezer so you can just make stuff on the go really easily. Lots of good stuff. All right, let's see if this firmed up at all. A little more. Shut up. It's almost there. So I did 24 minutes, so now we're at 27, so I'm gonna go to 29. Because it's, when I pulled it the first time, like some of it slid. It was still very liquidy on the top. So when I just did that, it didn't do that anymore, but there was still a little bit too much liquid. So I'm gonna put it in there for another couple minutes and then take it out. And I think it'll be good. Honestly, 1 minute might be enough, but we'll see. But yeah, so it's pretty good, I guess. Also, did anyone do anything special for Easter? I guess would be a good question. I didn't cook anything special. I ate a bunny though, like those chocolate bunnies. Had one of those. Figured it was worth the time to do it. So, but yeah, that was my exciting thing. Itane is just DM'd me saying, "Ah, no." We'll see if she shows up here in the chat, I guess. She's just in time for in 40 seconds for us to take this out, I guess. Hold on, I'll be right back. I will be right back, okay? Just wait a second, chat. All right. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me show it to you. Okay, so you can wiggle it. It doesn't wiggle too much. So here we go. Let me flip. Flip. Toothpick. Not quite clean, but it doesn't have to be. That's pretty good. So the air bubbles and everything that come out here, they're gonna stick around. By the way. But it's pretty soft right now, you can see. But it does kind of come back and like come back to itself. So this whole outer, like upper layer right here, you can peel it away if you like. Typically I do it with a knife after it's cooled down. So the normal way you would do this with the recipe is you let it sit here, just right there for 2 hours or an hour. I think I do like an hour most of the time, just until it's come down to room temperature. And then it goes in there. And it stays there for at least a half hour or so. And after that, you can take it out and then you grab hold of it by the parchment. And then you lift it up and you cut it. You can also, if you let it sit like out at room temperature for like 2 hours, you can also cut it then before you put it in, but it will be a little bit more liquidy. Hi, Tanes. Welcome. Here's what we just made. I know it's not the most beautiful thing on the planet, but this is the flavor. So, Sakura Green Tea. And we took this, we oversteeped it by about 2 times or so as much to intensify the flavor. And then use that as the liquid in the lemon bar recipe in order to make Sakura Shortbread bars. So you can kind of see this. Underneath this like top layer, there's this really, really nice like golden brown kind of color, which I think is the green tea's fault, which is a good color, honestly. But it does taste really good. So I'm happy with how that came out. That's good. So you wait an hour and then it goes in the fridge. Or if you're super impatient, like me, / you have people who you're supposed to see within an hour or so, then you could just put it in the refrigerator and call it a day. But be mindful that thing's hot. So, pass the dominoes. In you go. So there you go. You can just go sit in here. Your uncle paste and your sake and your pizza. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to cut it on stream. Obviously, I don't really want to. I don't know if I have enough things to talk about for like an hour. But we can go over the recipe again, just real quick. So this is the basic one. And this is a full recipe. I did a half today. So have all these things. But for the crust, it's a stick of butter, a cup. You melt it. A 1/4 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of flour for the crust. For that, 325 in your oven, parchment paper on your glass pan. Mix all the crust ingredients, but add the flour last. And then you just stir it all together. And then stick it into the pan, squish it down into the corners, bake for 20 minutes. And then when it comes out, poke the holes in the crust, not all the way through, but enough so that you let the hot air come out of it. And while it cooks, you can make the filling, which again, half recipe. 1 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour. Grab that, mix it all together. You can whisk it, you can just toss it around until it's well mixed. And then 3 eggs, and then a 1/2 cup of whatever your flavor is. So the recipe is for lemon juice. I've literally never used lemon juice and never actually made lemon bars. I've always made random other ingredients. Today's was, the Sakura Green Tea. And the eggs and the liquid go together and last. You mix it all up. The shortbread comes out. You poke the holes again, make sure it's all good. Pour it in, and then in it goes again. So 22 minutes for the crust. And then for this, we did 28 minutes. It seems the tea needed some more time to kind of solidify and whatnot. But yeah. So an hour and 15 minutes is how long it took us to get to the point where it's all there and what have you. So yeah, that's it. I'll take a picture or 3 once it's done and once it's out and good. But that's all I got for you tonight. So hope you enjoyed the cooking stream. I know I didn't have as much stuff. I hope you enjoyed all the fun facts from the Sakura thing and what have you. So yeah, I'll see you all later. I'll post a picture when I am done cutting up that bar. I'm probably gonna like slice off the top to get the nice color out from underneath. And yeah, take it easy, everyone. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, morning, day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you later. Bye.